Well, I heard a funny story that you actually went to the trade show and was popping in your sponsor me tape, but it wasn't. It wasn't a skating sponsor me tape. It was.
Right, I skated in it.
Oh, you did. Okay.
There was a little skating in there, but it was like me drinking Bong water, lighting myself on fire, jumping off rooftops, like
you were an influencer.
Jumping off rooftops on fire. Yeah, and I would walk around the skate. The convention.
Yeah. What was it, ASR back then?
Yeah, it had to be ASR.
It was actually Surf Expo in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Where, this like goofy skate company like got me in. And I knew that they were fucking goofy. People knew nothing about skating. But yeah, so I went around the trade show, going up to booths, and, booths had like, set up, promote their shit. And there's a TV with a VCR. And I would just brazenly go up to booths and hit stop on their VCR, eject their tape,
promo.
and then put in my tape. So now, like, this fucking asshole I'm playing my tape on their booth,
right.
which is like a huge investment to be at this trade show.
Yeah.
And it was the most disrespectful fucking thing. And I was like, yo, check this out, dude. Oh, dude, you're going to love it.
Everybody's pissed.
Everybody was so fucking pissed. But then I went to the XYZ booth, pulled the same trick, and Tommy Caudill, who's a dear friend of mine, man, ever since, the dearest friend. And he started XYZ Clothing with Danny Way. And he was like, sees me flying through the air off a building on fire, blowing fire, and like 30 feet up in the air. And he's like, is that you? And I'm like, fuck yeah. And he was like, dude, I want to put this in my next video, man. And I was like, shit, yeah. So we like within a half an hour, we're just shotgunning beers, getting all loaded, like, what do you say? As thieves, thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves, yeah.
And he was such a gnarly alcoholic, and just his whole mentality. Like when the trade show was over, he didn't like pack everything up. He just destroyed the booth, left it there in heaps, and all the actual clothes he gave to me. And I was like, dude, I'm sponsored. And they were banned, XYZ's banned for life from being in that because they just left a big heap of bullshit.
Oh my God.
And I came home with all this gear, and I was like, yo, Simon Eddy, dude, like I'm on XYZ, dude. I'm gonna fucking try and get them to sponsor you.
Okay.
And they did.
Oh, they did.
They weren't sure about Simon Eddy until I sent Tommy this video. And that's fucking crazy, dude. Simon Eddy and his thinking was like, dude, Burger King always has apple pie on the menu. Like McDonald's always has apple pie on the menu, but Wendy's never had a pie on the menu. So Simon Eddy, he was still in high school. It was way before I met him, but he had this footage. He films himself going through the Wendy's drive-thru, and he goes up to the, he orders a soda, and then he gets to the window, and the lady's in the window. He says, "Oh, do you have any pies?" And she goes, "No." And he's holding a fucking pie, like a clown pie, and he just throws it through the window, like perfect through that little, just boom, right into her fucking face. He pied her. Wow. It was the Wendy's pie toss. He pied her, and then it screeches out. Now, of course, she called the cops. This is like a total fucking assault.
Sure.
She I think she's like, he looks like a high school kid. Cops show up at his high school the next day, and they or whatever, they picked him out of the yearbook.
Oh, no.
And he like got busted by cops the next day and was like in trouble, but he had the footage, and that footage got him on XYZ.
One clip.
Because Tommy was like, hey, he's a rad skater, but the world is full of rad skaters.
Okay.
It was like, I wasn't so sure, but the Wendy's pie toss, he's like, that got him on the team.
He's in.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
I've never told that story on any level of media before.
Made himself marketable.
Well, he's all cleared now. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. He's all cleared now. And it was like purely innocent. He was just campaigning for Wendy's to have a fucking pie on the menu.
Do they have one now?
Collateral damage.
I don't think they do.
I don't think
They
they
got
ever
Frosties.
Frosties.
Yeah.
Oh, Frosties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So the XYZ thing, and
I was sponsored for drinking bong water and lighting myself on fire. That's basically it. And that's just how rad Tommy Caudill is.
What-
And
how-
Danny Wade. Like, Danny Wade fell in love with me when I drank his bong water in his living room.
I mean, how could you not fall in love
I
with
mean, I
somebody
don't know. I
drink?
think Danny was pretty on board. Danny's always been a supporter.
Yeah. How old were you at this point when you got with the XYZ thing?
When I met Tommy, I was 22.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was the first week of January 1996.
Wow.
So yeah, and now I'm 45, so more than half my life ago.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, did any of that footage make it into the Big Brother video, or were they taking photos, or were they filming for the Big Brother video?
Dude. My very first drinking bong water clip was featured in my Big Brother part. My first Big Brother part.
But when you went back to when they came into town and they were filming, you had Markovich do the things. And did that make it in there? I don't remember that.
That was a Duff's tour.
I think that
was it
that went into a Duff's video.
Yeah, Ricky Beanball shot that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a promo video, and then
Right.
they didn't do the promo video.
Oh,
They did play it at the trade shows, but
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was exclusive
Okay.
for Duff's.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I had a part in the XYZ video. I had some footage in Duff's, and then I started working on the part for the Big Brother video.
Right. And how did Big Brother? Were you sending them clips?
Yeah.
And you were
I mean, I think I never sent anything to them until the burning of my face.
Oh.
But they went home I supplied them with
Your reel.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that established a connection between me and Big Brother. And once I had that connection, I was the most persistent, like just incessant,
Blowing them up.
non-fucking stop. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, And they couldn't stand me, but they saw value in what I was prepared to do.
Who's your contact down there?
Tremaine.
Tremaine.
So
Okay.
I had the line straight to Tremaine.
Wow.
And he hated it, but he understood the importance of it. So because when they did the Florida tour, I was back in Florida, and they actually reached out. They were like, "Hey, we're going to be in Florida,"
Sick.
and I was like, "Oh, I'm so fucking ready."
Did you have a little plan ready? Some stunts and
That
stuff?
was my first ever double front flip off of a bridge, which I came up like in the worst way. It was exactly 1 3/4.
Belly flop.
It was a back flip, but yeah.
Still.
And
Good footage though.
that was when we did I did the ho walking down the stairs on my hands.
yeah.
And got the cover of Big Brother.
Okay. Yeah.
It was only supposed to be like they meet up and we shoot but once we met up, like I glued myself to them, and they were actually actively trying to ditch me.
Oh, they
But
were?
They failed in ditching me. I just was so fucking determined and persistent that I just tagged along for the rest of the trip and just kept getting footage.
Got your
and
claws in on 'em.
Got the cover. And it broke my heart because when the cover came out, when that issue came out, like I had the cover, I had the whole introduction page, I had like a 2-page spread interview, and then a bunch of photos in the article. Like I was all over. It was like my issue. I came up with so much content, but in the story that they wrote, about the trip, they were really fucking bashing on me. It kind of broke my heart. They were just like, we hated this fucking kid. We were trying to ditch him. The reason I was back in Florida too is because my mom had suffered an aneurysm and survived it. And my sister and I moved back to be there to take care of her and stuff. And they kind of wrote the article he's doing fire breathing backflips in his mom's living room while she's in this condition, implying that it was it was just
disrespectful, maybe a little.
It bordered on really fucking tasteless, and to the extent that I was just sensitive about it, really hurt my feelings. It took me a long time to let go of that resentment.
Big Brother, they were kind of like that. Though.
They were.
They were stirring shit up.
And I'm glad that we're getting into the weeds, and for the people who aren't aware of Big Brother, God, there's this documentary
On
Hulu called Dumb, the story of Big Brother magazine. And it's essentially a Jackass origin documentary, how Jackass started. And I went to the premiere in New York. They had a premiere, and I was so struck. This documentary had such a crazy impact on me because Jackass and everything that we've done under the name Jackass it's been self-destructive at times. It's been irreverent. It's been very naughty, very fucked up. However, it was never mean spirited. You know, Jackass had this spirit about it that was like we only ever hurt ourselves or each other.
Right.
You know,
right,
we never were mean to anybody else. Only willing participants ever got the short end of the stick.
Sure.
You know, like it had this camaraderie, this spirit, this positivity.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's just crazy because when I went to that Big Brother documentary, Big Brother did not have that.
They were going after everybody.
Yeah.
And it was really fucked up. Like it, the way that documentary was, the whole story and everything was all put together into one presentation. It was just like, was stark. Like, I mean, it was this, and the origin of Big Brother is incredible.
Yeah.
With Steve Rocco.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that. But like, it was a magazine that was targeted for little kids, filled with nudity and just awful shit. And they just awful shit.
Yeah.
Like the extent to which Big Brother was fucking awful, malicious, like mean spirit, like in many ways, it was like really. I walked out of that premiere like with a hangover.
Well, people loved it, but at the same time, they shot themselves in the foot.
Oh, I loved it too.
You know, they just there's only so many years you could do that to people before,
Right.
You know, and then they did the whole Flint thing and whatever. So.
Right. My first issue that I was in of Big Brother magazine was the first issue that was published by Larry Flint.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
That was the cover?
I wasn't. No.
Oh,
my first issue. I had been in Big Brother before that Florida
Okay,
tour.
I gotcha.
Yeah, my first issue that I was ever in. It preceded that. I can't remember who was on the cover.
What was it? Did you know you were going to be on the cover, or did they surprise you?
didn't.
You didn't. Okay,
I didn't.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they didn't tell me.
They didn't say anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember when I found out, but they were pretty, cards like close to the vest or whatever.